From raw sprinting power to perfect hurdle technique, this video compares two unforgettable performances. Fraser-Pryce's 100-meter dominance meets Amusan's historic hurdles run. Who truly owned the track?
Stepping up to deliver a special performance in a very hot race.
Julia Smith in 7 MVP International.
Yeah, great to see her back. 2019 World Championship medalist in the 4x1. Had a setback last year, but good to see her back up and running.
Jodine Williams of Racers in 8.
Has been running on the local circuit at the Velocity Fest meets and the Jubilee Series. Let's see if she can get through to the semifinals.
So Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce in 4, the world leader, 10.67 seconds. And she ran it twice for good measure. Most recently, just this past weekend in Paris. So she's made the trip, the long flight home. She's back in the 100 meters here and already has a bye to the World Championships.
In the 100 meters.
Set.
And cleanly away, good start for Briana Williams. Fraser-Pryce also has a good start, so too Ramona Burrell. It's Fraser-Pryce, Williams and Burrell. Fraser-Pryce steps away and looks superb. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, 10.69. That's the flash time. That is the flash time for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Let's see the wind. It's legal for Fraser-Pryce. 10.70 for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
Okay, what's very special is that we're going to have some big PBs, I believe, possibly behind. No, but Williams at 10.98. Oh, so Briana Williams just 1/100th of her personal best. But Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
And she didn't get a good start, gentlemen. She was behind Ramona Burrell at 30 meters, but now gets up into a running at 50 and accelerates again away from Briana Williams and goes through to win in 10.70. And not the best execution from her. We've seen her much more flawless than that, but here, very relaxed, very comfortable. Briana Williams holding on to her coattail. But too much speed in the end for young Briana Williams as she eases through for 10.98. Looks in good form, just outside of her personal best of 10.97. But Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, all eyes on her. Nice high sprinting, doesn't spend too much time on the ground. They tell you that sprinters spend 40% of their time on the ground. She's spending a little less than that. Very quick, very smooth. The 4-time world champion over 400 meters, 9 world championship titles for her.
I think a few years later, but that game's record, I suspect, is about to be smashed by the woman in your screen. She's not the only world-class hurdler in here. 5 women from that extraordinary set of semi-finals. Amusan got the world record. 4 others broke PBs or national records. It was an extraordinary day in Eugene. What an opportunity for Amusan. They're all prowling around, getting themselves ready. Now it looks like it's almost full here. This is the official lineup then for the final of the women's 100-meter hurdles. What a showdown. All eyes on Tobi Amusan in 5. But Tapper on her inside in 4. Charlton in 7. And Williams of Jamaica on the outside in 8, the former world champion, could also feature. And as we know, in the sprint hurdles, anything can happen. Being the favourite doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make it to the finish line. To the first of 2 Australians then. Celeste Mucci, Oceanian champion. Her father was a world-class volleyball player, second in the national champs. She's only 22. Big stage for her. It is absolutely packed now. Michelle Harrison, World Championship semi-finalist indoors and out this year. Ran a windy 12.85 in the semi-finals to make it into this, the biggest race of her life. Cindy Sember, great to see her back to form, the Englishwoman. Semis in Doha, semis in Tokyo, and a national record en route to the final in which she finished 5th in Eugene. Megan Tapper, a tiny figure with huge ability. Watch for her technical prowess. Pan American bronze and an Olympic bronze, and lightning quick at her best. Now to the favourite, African champion, world record holder and defending Commonwealth champion. Tobi Amusan was the toast of Nigeria in Eugene. Will she be so again today? 12-12, that world record. Michelle Jenica is always bobbling, always bouncing and always smiling. Twice she's been ever so close to a medal in the Com Games, 5th in Glasgow, 4th on the Gold Coast. Devon Charlton, no Bahamian woman has ever won a medal in this event, which is quite surprising. She had a national record in that semi-final. Eventually finished 7th behind Amusan in the fastest race we've ever seen. Danielle Williams, a world champion in Beijing in 2015. She got a silver behind Amusan 4 years ago and was 6th in the World Championship final. No Eugene world champion has arrived here in Birmingham and delivered gold. Is that about to change?
Well, Rob, the strength of this field underlines the strength of Commonwealth hurdling. 4 finalists from Eugene go in this field. And Tobi Amusan, I wonder how well she's recovered all the celebrations. It was exact.
Very fast. Final, the women's 100-metre hurdles. The world record holder, the defending champion, goes in 5. Watch for Amusan. She's 4th from the left-hand side. Tapper's got away well, and Amusan's under a little bit of pressure. Now beginning to pull away the world champion, the world record holder. She's on her way to a successful title defence. Semba's on the podium, and so too Charlton of Bahamas. Their first medal, 12.129. Cometh the hour, cometh the champion. It's a successful title defence and a Games record by a country mile. Amusan is on fire this season, and she has forgotten how to lose. Brilliant by the Nigerian, simply brilliant.
Well, 12.29 is special. Anything under 12.3, super fast. Only a handful of women in history have gone quicker than that. And the wind, it was minus 0.2. Wasn't helpful. It would have been around +1, +1.5. She'd have loved that, I think. Great racing. Such coolness under pressure there from Amusan. I'll tell you what, it's not always easy to shoulder the burden of expectation. Devon Charlton there, 12.58 for the silver, 1/100th ahead of Simbi Semba of England. But Amusan, as expected, a class apart, Rob, with that Games record. And you know what she does? She builds her racing really well. She wasn't really much ahead over the first 3 or 4 flights, but it's just the impetus she builds through those 4th, 5th, 6th flights that takes her away from the rest, and she won by a big margin.
I was really impressed with that run because Tapper, to her right, 4th from the right, got a brilliant start. The tiny Jamaican is so good when she gets it right, but now Amusan began to pull away. She didn't panic after seeing the Jamaican in her peripheral vision. Charlton on the near side creates a little bit of history for the Bahamas, and an excellent run by Cindy Semba. You thought she might run well after her windy 12.3 in Eugene, but that was a brilliant title defence by Amusan. The world champion is the Commonwealth champion, and she's now being interviewed in the stadium, and she will be getting a huge roar when she finishes. That was absolutely superb. Under pressure on the first hurdle, and she delivered in style.
This backs up her world record for me, that 12.12 in Eugene on a quicker track. That was such a fast time, 12.30 seconds off a not particularly great first 2 or 3 hurdles, was it, Tim? She didn't get out the best. She was under pressure, as Rob said, but 12.30 seconds into a slight headwind really, really equates to a 12.12 world record. And Nigeria have won 6 medals here, and they've all been from the women, and that is number 7. Good running.
I think you're right, Cal. That's a good point. I mean, I said she wasn't that far ahead, really, over the first 3 flights or so. In fact, Megan Tapper held her for the first 2 or 3. Here she begins, here hurdle 3, begins to get away. And this is where she maintains her form really quick between the barriers. Such a crisp, neat hurdling technique. And it just drags her clear over the second half. That is her strength, really, is the sort of the growing momentum she builds. Jenico had a good run, 5th place for the Australian there, 12.68 behind Tapper, 12.67. The place times are very, very strong indeed. 6th place, Danielle Williams, 12.69.
Great running by Amusan. I fully expect her to be drafted into the Nigerian 4x1 squad. Really good stuff. The world record holder, the world champion, and a successful title defence here in Birmingham. What a season. Tobi Amusan delivers one of the most impressive performances of the whole week here at the Alexander Stadium. Devon Charlton takes silver, the first Bahamian woman on the podium in this event, and Cindy Sember, a fabulous bronze for her. Tapper of...
The women's sprint events often showcase two different dimensions of speed: pure flat sprinting and the technical brilliance of hurdling. Few comparisons highlight this contrast better than Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce's dominant 100-meter performance at the Jamaican National Championships and Tobi Amusan's masterclass in the 100-meter hurdles at the Commonwealth Games. Two races, two disciplines, yet both defined by authority, experience, and world-class execution. At the 2022 Jamaican National Senior Championships, all eyes were on Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Even in a preliminary heat, the anticipation felt like a final. Known globally as Mommy Rocket, Fraser-Pryce entered the race not just as a favorite, but as a legend continuing to defy time. Lined up against a strong field that included Briana Williams, Ramona Burrell, and other rising Jamaican talents, the race offered a glimpse into both the present and future of sprinting in one of the sport's most dominant nations. The start told an interesting story. Briana Williams exploded out of the blocks, immediately putting herself in contention, while Ramona Burrell also showed early aggression. Fraser-Pryce, in contrast, had a slightly more measured reaction. For the first 30 meters, she was not leading, a rare sight for an athlete known for her explosive starts. But what followed was a reminder of why she remains one of the greatest sprinters of all time. As the race transitioned into the middle phase, Fraser-Pryce's acceleration became unstoppable. By the 50-meter mark, she had already surged past her competitors, her stride frequency and efficiency separating her from the field. What made the performance even more impressive was the sense of control. There was no visible strain, no desperation. She crossed the line in 10.70 seconds, comfortably ahead, sending a clear message. Even below peak condition, she was still operating at a level others struggled to reach. While Fraser-Pryce's race was about controlled dominance in a flat sprint, Tobi Amusan's performance in Birmingham represented perfection over barriers. The Commonwealth Games final in the women's 100-meter hurdles carried enormous pressure. Just weeks earlier, Amusan had stunned the world with her 12.12 world record, and now she entered the championship as the athlete everyone was watching. The final itself was stacked with talent. Jamaica's Danielle Williams and Megan Tapper brought experience and speed. Devon Charlton represented a rising force for the Bahamas, and several other contenders added depth to an already elite field. Unlike the Jamaican Championships heat, where Fraser-Pryce could afford a measured approach, Amusan faced a final where every fraction of a second and every hurdle mattered. Out of the blocks, Megan Tapper challenged aggressively, matching Amusan through the early phase. For a brief moment, the race looked competitive. But hurdling is not just about speed. It is about rhythm, precision, and consistency. From the third hurdle onward, Amusan elevated her performance to another level. Each barrier clearance was executed with near-perfect timing, her stride pattern uninterrupted and fluid. As the race progressed, the gap began to grow. While others fought to maintain rhythm, Amusan looked composed and effortless. She powered through the final hurdles and crossed the line in 12.30 seconds, setting a games record despite a headwind. Behind her, the battle for the podium was tight, but she was untouchable, a clear demonstration of technical supremacy. Comparing these two performances reveals the different demands of sprinting disciplines. Fraser-Pryce's race highlighted raw speed, acceleration mechanics, and efficiency over 100 meters. Her dominance came from her ability to shift gears mid-race and overwhelm her competitors with pure sprinting ability. Amusan's victory, on the other hand, was built on precision. In hurdles, even the smallest error can cost the race, yet she delivered a flawless execution under immense pressure. And yet, there is a common thread between them: control. Both athletes ran with a sense of command that separated them from the field. Fraser-Pryce controlled the race despite not leading early, while Amusan controlled every step and every hurdle from start to finish. These performances also reflect different stages of excellence. Fraser-Pryce, a veteran nearing the latter stages of her career, continues to rely on experience and refined technique to dominate. Amusan, in her prime, is redefining what is possible in her discipline, combining peak physical condition with technical mastery. In the end, these races are more than just victories. They are statements. One shows that greatness can endure, the other that new standards can be set. Together, they capture the full spectrum of women's sprinting: power, precision, and the relentless pursuit of perfection.